Welcome to episode 40 of Let's Play Civilization 3, Play the World. Okay, we are upgrading all our troops, all our defensive troops to infantry. It's something we're going to do in stages, but the eventual goal is to have infantry protecting every city, preferably at least 2 of them. We want to be adequately prepared in case of another war, especially from the Celts, who are by far the most dangerous. Now we've reached, 40 episodes is, a minor milestone of sorts, and, a good time to, see how we're doing, and so far, I like how the way this game is going. I mean, being behind on technology so much is kind of annoying, but generally, I'd say this game has been going pretty well. I've had a lot of fun doing this, and we're by no means near over, not by a long shot. I wouldn't be surprised if we're only reaching the halfway mark. Of course, this all depends on whether I'm going to continue after I've nominally won or lost. I haven't decided on that point yet. But that's one of the cool things about this game. Even when you finish the game, you can still keep going indefinitely. As long as the only way the game can actually end is if your civilization gets completely conquered. And judging by the size of mine, you can probably guess that would take quite an effort. It would probably take everyone invading me at the same time, or at least a lot of people. Alright, so we are moving ahead, and the turns are peeling by quickly on this video. I don't know how many we get through on this video, but maybe like between 6 and 8. Just moving ahead, we can see the number of improvements and the number of improvements to the terrain increase before our very eyes during the video, which is kind of nice. Now I want to check to see how many turns are left with the Arabs and their sucking of all our coal. You can see our source of coal right there. It's our only one. But as you can see, there's only 11 more turns. Well, only 11 is pretty big, but we'll get through it. And the fact that we have coal is a good thing, even if we don't have it right now. And now that we have replaceable parts, which we got in the last video, the workers will be much more productive, and that can only make me happy. Mongols are continuing their trek towards Germany. Now sometimes I think the AI could be written better, because instead of sending units in big, effective stacks, they tend to just send them one at a time. And that strategy usually only wins for them if they have massive forces and can just keep battering you until they win. Or else, when a war starts, they'll move big stacks against you. But more often than not, it's just 1 or 2 troops at a time. But, oh well. I'm not complaining too much, it just makes it easier to fight against. So you can see Delhi has reached the size 13, the first city in my empire to do so, and expect many more to follow over the next few videos. I fully expect by the time the cities are mostly mature, at least 3/4 of them are going to be at least size 13, probably several in the 20s, although I don't really know exactly how big. Okay. We've discovered the tech of refining, and what that does exactly is, just like in the real world, we now know how to refine oil and use it. And if you know, petroleum was a key factor in the second industrial revolution in the late 19th and early 20th century. So we have to make sure we have oil. It's a new resource that has appeared on the screen. We don't. I look around to where it might be. I see it in the Mongols. I'm wondering if I have to attack. But then I see right there we have our own source of oil. It's not hooked up. I'm very relieved. True, it's only one source, and if it disappears, we could be in for a lot of trouble. But at least it's something. Oil is very hard to find. It's only either in desert terrain or it's in tundra terrain. There might be one other terrain it's in, but I don't think so. I think those are the only two. So we don't have any tundra. Our country is, equilateral. So desert it is. Now the Mongols, and just like I predicted, before the Mongols even got to Germany, most likely they signed a peace treaty. And now they're going to all trek in the other direction through my territory. And I imagine the same will happen with the Chinese pretty soon. Kind of annoying, but oh well. Could be a lot worse. They could be attacking us. Now, here I decide to upgrade a whole bunch of soldiers. Upgrade some pikemen. And take these extra infantrymen and send them to border cities on the south that are unprotected. Remember, even though the Chinese are small, they pretty much have every resource that you could need, so those cities have to be defended. Right, and there they go. Mongols are moving back. I believe the only two wars right now are China versus Germany, and I think the Arabs and the Celts are still fighting, which I don't really care about too much. Oh, by the way, something I found before. Talk about this for ironic. Remember how the source of coal disappeared from our territory maybe 2 videos ago? Well, guess where it appeared? Yeah, it appeared in Arabia. So now they have their own coal, and they have the coal that they're getting from us. Funny, isn't it? I don't know if that technically qualifies as irony, but I think it does. So, upgrading all these units. Like I said, swordsmen can get upgraded to guerrilla. Not the most useful unit if you have resources and you can build infantry and later on tanks and medieval or modern armor, but it still is pretty good. It can be used to protect soldiers or to pillage things. Generally a very good unit. Alright, sending more infantry down there. And I really can't wait until I get my coal back, because I don't think it will take very long with coal to build roads that connect every part of the empire. Right, and have myself a galleon there. Won't be long until I can build transports. Galleons can hold 4 units. Transports can hold 8. So, eventually when we get to it, if you load a transport up with 8 tanks or 8 modern armor, send a couple battleships to protect it, you've got yourself one formidable landing force. Okay, the Germans want to talk to me, and I discover something odd here. They are actually behind me in research. That's something I completely didn't expect. I think that's really funny. They were actually behind me in research. That makes me happy, though. I guess all its wars with all these people has depleted their treasury, and they haven't been able to research things or buy tech at all. Now, the Koreans want a mutual protection pact, and while I've been historic allies with the Koreans the entire time, I really don't want to bind myself to that, because if the Celts attack the Koreans, I'm going to have to be fighting them all over again, and don't really want to do that. I'd rather take my chances with seeing if I can form a military alliance as soon as one of the countries attacks me, or if I want to attack someone. Because mark my words, I will get revenge on the Celts sometime. Well, that does it for episode 40. I'll see you next time on episode 41.